Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Speaking with Saif. And if you haven't already seen the first few episodes, then head over to the YouTube channel and check them out. Also, hit the subscribe button while you're at it because you're missing out on so much content that I think might be very insightful and useful for all you guys to check out. Now, on this episode, I'm joined by Laftah, someone that actually runs by the Instagram name of LaftahWhyNot. And I find it pretty interesting because the laughter word, it just sounds like he's definitely from up north, and he is from up north. So he's a guy from Salford, and he's someone that's creating content that is not just funny and hilarious just to watch his reactions and reviews, but also he's got a very serious side, which is why I picked him up, from talking about mental health from a men's perspective and delivering it in a way of charity and spoken word. Guys, let me introduce you to Laftah.
Hello, how are you, Saif? I'm glad to actually be on the show finally, bro. Made it work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always kind of looking at people that are creating content and different types of content and positive content as well. And I found you, and I thought, you know what, like you're. I'll tell you, I'll be really honest with you. What caught my attention was that it says on your bio, 24 years old, and I was like, this guy is younger than me, but he also has the same amount of hair as I do. And I was like, we can connect, we can actually do something together. So tell us a bit about you. Tell us a bit about your background and what you're doing.
Oh, where to start? Obviously, I'm not going to bore all of you lot, so I'm going to try and summarize it as quick as I can. So I was born in Salford, Manchester, as you've already shed light on. I've moved a dozen. So what I mean is, I moved out at the age of 3, moved to Saudi Arabia, lived there for 6 years. That was an experience. So came over back here, moved to North London, in Saudi Arabia when I was in year 4. Funny enough, their work is very advanced. So what I mean by that, year 4 work in primary school was equivalent to SATs in year 6. So I got moved up 2 years. So that was interesting. Got bullied for a while in school because I actually had an American accent. Believe it or not, it was really funny because in Saudi Arabia they have an American system school, American teachers. So I picked up on that. Dealt with the trials and tribulations there. I was going sort of in the wrong direction in North London. We were hearing guns going off every night. It was quite tense back in 2006. Then moved out to a village called Spalding, full of old people, very boring. There was nothing I could do there. We couldn't even find a school there. Then moved down where I am now for 13 years. I lived since 2007. Now in 2020, 13 years. I live in Peterborough. Secondary school here, then did sixth form. Then on the day where we all got our results, after A-levels, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I barely scraped a pass. All my friends were going to uni. So what did I do? I followed what everyone else was doing, not actually listening to what I wanted to do. So I applied through clearing, literally through clearance, got into Leeds Beckett University, found a course remotely, something I would be interested in, but I only enjoyed 2 modules, which was, funny enough, radio work, what Saif is doing, podcast work, and being in front of the camera, so doing studio work. So other than that, creating websites, stuff like that wasn't my thing. Long story short, took a gap year, worked, went back to uni, second year didn't work out, dropped out, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this YouTube thing seriously. Started in January 21st, 2019, and never looked back since. Didn't let my anxiety or depression get in front of me or anyone's opinion, and we're getting good content out there. It's growing gradually, and I'm really enjoying it, Saif.
I'm gonna come to your content in a few minutes, but you just mentioned something about depression and anxiety, and a lot of my videos have an aspect of mental health in this, and it's not even because I chose it. It's because actually this is what people want to come onto my show and talk about, and I'm more willing to hear and listen to the different methods and experiences that people have had. Now, obviously, with yourself, you've done, and I've seen some of your spoken word, and I've seen some of your work in relation to men's mental health. And obviously, I know that you mentioned that you're suffering from depression yourself. How did that start, and how did you overcome this, or have you overcome this? What's your kind of journey with this?
So obviously, as a kid, you wouldn't know if you're different from other kids, but I was always a kid that would think far too deep about things. So other kids were playing with toys and stuff like that. I was there, not only playing video games, but then thinking about, what did this message of this video game really have? Or like, I'd look into things in such deep layers that didn't even need to be looked into that deep. Slowly, I felt like there's a dark cloud following me, and I didn't understand it. Of course, there's things that contribute to your depression, the nature and nurture debate, what have you. But where it really started becoming apparent is my uncle was 28 years old. He had a hole in his heart. He passed away. 28 years old, obviously a man of faith, being Muslim and all. It put things in perspective. But at the age, because it happened, that incident, before I turned 18. So obviously, a few days before my birthday, I was like, what does it mean getting older? What does this life really mean? Then I started self-medicating in the wrong way. Not turning to God, not trying to find a support system, not going counseling, not seeking maybe medication if that is for you. I was going about it the wrong way. I wasn't trying to accept what was going on, what I was feeling, because I felt I'm a man. I shouldn't cry. I shouldn't show emotion. Why am I not stronger than this? But then when my family and friends and everyone around you says you have a problem, you're destroying yourself, you're destroying your life, this is not the person who wants you, there's something wrong with me. So long story short, I went to the doctors back in 2017, September time. They said, well, we diagnosed you with clinical depression and anxiety disorder. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, so everything you've been feeling all your life is not made up. You may be different from others, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can use that to fuel you to really stand out if you really wanted to. Then I went through medication. I was on fluoxetine, first of all, lowering dosage, highering dosage, what have you. Then July 2018, I changed to the sertraline, as I spoke about in the spoken word. Meds are not my friends, so I spoke about the journey about me coming off medication, which I am off currently. So I I've been prescribed, but different medication. But then I found what is really the answer. After 3 years, it's you. Like, depression is not a choice, but the choice is yours, in a sense that you have the choice to really better yourself, and then I really started thinking, and it's only 19th of March 2020, I decided I'm coming off medication. And until now, it's been 6 weeks plus, I'm completely off medication. I'm only reliant on natural supplements, my faith, which I'm obviously, it's Ramadan at the moment, so I'm trying to pray as much as I can. We're all not perfect. And appreciating my support system and cherishing people rather than pushing them away, because it's hard. It's easy to play the victim and you want to push people away, saying you don't understand it. Of course, no one's going to understand exactly what you're going through, but you should always embrace the love that you're getting, because then you're going to end up lonely.
So on that note as well, I know you you actually told me about recently getting married as well, and your kind of journey there. But linking that with actually your depression and your mental health, how much, first of all, tell us about your journey with that in relation to mental health, but also tell us about your journey of how your marriage kind of came to be, because I know there's a very interesting story there as well.
Yeah, so I've always been one of those people that have never been interested in just relationships, I said I'll either meet the one wifey, as they say, get married to her, do it the right way, and that's it. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I haven't done things which you would label as a perfect Muslim, but who's really perfect, you know what I mean? But I've always been genuine and I've always been honest. So long story short, in my previous job, I moved into a new department. I met who I didn't know was going to be my wife. So we just became friends, and we were friends for nearly 2 years. She would tell me about her problems. She would talk about her mental health. I'll talk about my mental health. And she really saw a side of me no one else saw. And she accepted me as the full package and with my flaws. And I was like, wow, people like this really do exist. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he has someone written for you from day one, you truly don't believe it until you meet the person. So long story short, I said, right. It was this time last year, funny enough, during Ramadan. We were on FaceTime after iftar. We were just talking. I said, okay, well, I like you. You like me. I'm going to tell my mum tonight that I'm interested in someone to marry. So like that. I'm like that. I'm like, I don't play around. So I said, it's up to you as well. Her parents were actually in Pakistan at the time. So how is she going to go and tell her parents, some random Arab guy from work wants to marry me? Not from a different village, from a different country, let alone different continent, for God's sake. So I told my mum, she told her parents. It wasn't easy, but the way I approached it, I said, your parents are out of Pakistan, so I want to meet your oldest brother. I said that. I've been pushing to meet her older brother. Of course, it was nerve-wracking. But when you're so sure about something, you are going to be the most authentic version of yourself. And if the message is meant to be delivered to that person, which was her older brother at the time, he believed that I was genuine. And through lots of trials, the community getting involved because we both look different. Obviously, me not being perfect. She's been married before, so she's divorced. But that didn't really matter to me because I care about who I'm seeing. How am I going to judge someone for coming out of a relationship that didn't work for them? That's not really anything wrong with that. Yeah. But who am I to then say, well, yeah, I've been perfect all this time. You know what I mean? No. So, and now fast forward 8-9 months. We got married in September 28th, 2019. Fast forward now 8-9 months. Happily married, alhamdulillah. She moved in with my family. Me and her dad, we have a language barrier, but we get along so much because when someone has a clean heart and the other person has a clean heart as well, language barrier ain't no problem.
Yeah. When you said, the community get involved and it got a little complicated, what kind of stuff gets complicated when the community gets involved? Or not even when I say community, I mean, it could be people externally, not even from within the family. Sometimes it's people, you don't even hear it. Sometimes people just talking to their parents or your parents and saying certain things, and you won't even hear about this until maybe later on.
Yeah, it's a game of Chinese whispers, you know? So someone will whisper to this person, then it'll travel back like, oh well, this guy's not good for her, or it'll be vice versa. You know, I have got a very small family, so I've already said that my parents are split. I've got probably X amount of cousins where I live, barely any, and I've got my sister and my mother, and always been the man in the household. You know, yes, I've rekindled my relationship with my dad, as is our duty as Muslim sons. But long story short, you know, it was something that it was already difficult enough for her family to accept that I'm from somewhere else, and then having the community talk when they don't even know anything, it makes it hard. But the main thing I said, and it stands to this date, is as long as you're both Muslims, you're both trying to do it in the right way. It doesn't matter if I come from, I don't know, anywhere, or you and the other person comes from anywhere. As long as you're both Muslims, you have a good intention, you want to do it in the right way. Come on, Saif, nowadays, man, how many people are in relationships right now? And forget about the religious aspect. They're just in relationships for their own gain. I'm talking about when you want to marry someone.
To do it purely.
You want to build a future. Yeah, and you want to build a future with them, and marriage is not easy. You know, I'm at the age of 24, just turned 24, as he said. And yeah, one of the things that was actually quite funny is that she finds bald men attractive. So that was easy for me.
Talk to me about this. How did this happen? How did you end up becoming bald, and how did that kind of affect you as well? Did that affect you?
Oh yes, great question, because not many people you will know.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
25.
25, yeah. So we're both very young. So I'm 24, 25, yeah. As you know, male pattern baldness is something that we cannot help. It's genetic. So I started my hair was starting to thin in the year. So when I was in year 12, sixth form, so probably 17, my hair was starting to thin. So people started picking up on it. Then you had banter, you know, but deep down, you know, you're already, this insecurity is killing you inside, and then you have people making fun of you. Doesn't help. So yeah, started slowly losing hair. It didn't help the fact I started taking medication. Medication doesn't help with growth of hair. Let's just keep it at that. Being stressed and the way I was living doesn't help with that. Obviously sped up the process. But I wish what I told my previous self is just embrace who you are. Like, genuinely just embrace who you are. The amount of pictures I had, Saif, I look so awkward because there's a flash on the camera, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna see my bald spot, or they can see me thinning from here. But lads, can you get it from the other side? So this is what I came to my early 20s. I literally was getting depressed over this because I was cancelling plans with people because I was like, oh, maybe I can't cover it this way or that way. So I decided to go bald at the age of 18. So that was a bold move in school. So I was getting taken the mick out of. But then because I started rocking it, whatever you rock, whatever insecurity you rock, how can people start liking you even more because they were like, wow, this guy has a lot about him. Like, he can just rock who he is. Like, and right now at the moment, I don't know if you see, but I feel like growing it out, so it might be this really lame receding hair line look, but it's because of what I want to do. Does that make sense? It's like you shaved your head in the end because it was liberating. It's what you want to do. So a lot of men deep down are suffering from this. What I would say is embrace your insecurities, because then that will help you in your relationships with friends and stuff, because confidence just oozes through you. And also, if you're trying to get married and stuff like that, she said to me, I didn't even notice you're bald because you're so confident. That was the last thing on my mind. So you fake confidence until you're confident. And I'm telling you, confidence will change your life, because you're gonna wake up every single day, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, you can get a hair transplant, nothing wrong with that. You can shave it off, great. Just choose whatever you wanna do and embrace it and just go full force.
I think I fully agree with the idea of whatever you do, it should shape, or you should kind of feel confident about it, because the worst thing, and I know, and you know that I know about this situation, is when you leave the house and you're just wondering, should I wear a hat today? Should I have got a haircut today? Or like, we always have these thoughts when we are in that kind of limbo between losing hair and having, a decent amount of hair on your head, which looks respectable in other people's eyes. And the fact that it was quite liberating once you go fully bald and you're just thinking, number one, I saved so much money, I don't need to go to a barber ever again. Number two,
yeah.
I can be myself. Like, I can do what I need to do, and not feel a certain way about it, not worry about the pictures, not worry about who I'm around, how people are going to perceive me. And number three, I think from what you are going to tell me, or what you've kind of touched on anyway, having that kind of support structure from a wife or someone, a partner of yours, that will look at you and be like, yeah, I'm okay with that, is another liberating aspect as well. Because one of the biggest fears that I would have, or another person that's thinning or completely bald would have, is, am I going to be able to find a partner? Because people find, some sort of symbolism in hair that is like, this person needs to have hair. And it's almost the case of this person needs to have hair because other people are going to talk about my husband.
Do you know how many women? Yeah. Do you know how many women love the bald look? That's why people get it twisted. It's like Marmite. You either love it or hate it. But if you meet a woman or a partner that loves it, you're in forever, mate. But what I say, like I said, say if it comes down to this at the end of the day, if you don't truly love yourself, no one else will love you.
Yeah.
So the start of 2019, I said, scratch everything. I'm going to start loving myself.
Yeah.
As soon as I start loving myself,
yeah,
doors were opening. Simple as that, dude.
Sick.
There's no secret formula.
Sick. Now, with your content that you've been creating, and obviously a lot of the guys can go and check out your Instagram and your YouTube right now, which I'll link into the descriptions as well. Tell me a little bit about where you're looking to take this. What are you kind of looking forward to in the future with your content?
Okay, so like you've touched on it, yes, my name is Hamdan Laftah. It's a very common name, Hamdan or Laftah in the Middle East, believe it or not. Laftah, the surname, is very common in Iraq. So it's obviously something that is a part of me. So I've used that name, LaftahWhyNot, as in laughter. Why are you gonna say no to laughter? So it catches people's eye. LaftahWhyNot, huh? Like it caught your eye. So it clearly works. But it's also genuine because it's part of me. So LaftahWhyNot, it just comes out of the mouth so with ease, and people really picked up on it. So obviously, with my content, I want to be a self-made brand, not in the sense that I want to come out with a clothing line and then delete all my videos and that was it. No, I mean, like, I want LaftahWhyNot to be something. As soon as it comes up in your mind, oh, that guy's made my day, or whatever piece of advice he's given me that's really shaped what I'm going to do moving forward, because I make a diverse amount of content. So to run through it very quickly, we have the reaction videos, so mostly our music video reactions, but I've been having local artists and etc. hitting me up wanting me to promote their music because they like my energy, and energy is something that you cannot fake. But at the same time, I also keep it real. So if I don't like something, I say it. If I do like something, I say it as well. So people like that, they see through and they enjoy it. And it's not just reaction to music videos, it's everything. It's also other things like sports compilations or stuff like that. And then you have challenges. So people like the family aspect. I do collabs with my wife, with my sister. I've done collaborations with my friends of all races, of all colors. They find it very interesting, you know. Mental health, something very important. So I not only speak and give tips about my own journey, but like I say, I make it more of an interesting way. I do spoken word. One of my favorite spoken words to date I've made is called 3 a.m. Thoughts. So I had the visuals of the Joker because it's a very interesting character. But obviously, I don't consider myself as an artist or someone who has a good voice or anything like that. But I can rhyme, and I can write, and I wanted to display the message through that. And it was called 3 a.m. Thoughts, and I waited until 3 a.m. I was tired, and I recorded that at 3 a.m. so it could feel authentic. And yeah, dude, I'm just in gaming, as you see. Like, I've got so many playlists, it's easy for you to view. So when you go on my channel, you're like, am I in the mood to laugh? Okay, go. Am I in the mood to listen to something serious? Okay, go. So it's all...
So it's got a variety and a diversity of kind of positive content that is both, I guess, entertaining, and people can take something from, just like you said, you know, this person made this LaftahWhyNot as a brand, you know, this person made a positive impact on my life, or this person said something and it's helped me, you know, these kind of things is what you're looking to
I think the future is bright. I think the future is people... This is so important, Saif, and I need to say this. People are lacking patience. People are listening to other people's opinions, and people are not doing it for the love of doing it. I can tell that you're doing podcasting because you love it. Okay, so whether you get 1 million views or 20 views, you are content, true contentment, because you're doing what you love, right? So a lot of people are trying to be an entrepreneur or a model or whatever, but do you really love it? If you do, fantastic. Then it wouldn't bother you if you make it or you don't make it. Do you understand? So, and people need to detach themselves from the positive and the negative. So if you detach yourself from both, you're going to be the most authentic version of yourself. And what do you have? True contentment. So I don't believe in happiness or sadness. In my opinion, I have a very different view on it. I think happiness and sadness are both fleeting moments. They come and go, and you should embrace it. You should embrace it in that moment. But what I think truly lasts is true contentment. You put your head on your pillow and you're like, have I been myself today? Yes. Boom, it's done. That's true happiness. Whatever that comes our way in the future, because our content is good and I believe in that, that's a bonus, right? But we're doing this for the love of doing it. And the question is to whoever's watching it, whatever you're doing right now, are you really doing it because you love it, or because X, Y, and Z, Tom, Dick, or Harry said to you that this is fantastic, keep doing this, or keep being you from this point of view? No. Eliminate all noise. Be you. Don't be deluded. Take constructive criticism. Take it on board. Better yourself. But don't let others' opinions on you dictate the way you live your life. That's insane. And that is insane. That's why a lot of people are depressed.
I guess it leads to like this kind of false expectation. Like the moment you do something, or the moment you see other people, for example, making videos or making reviews, and you think, okay, cool, like I want to be this, like this, or I want to have the results like this, and I have this expectation, and then you kind of fall on your ass with that. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and then you give up. Or sometimes you just think, hey man, you know, I made this podcast with this guy, but it only got like 20 views. And you know, that's not worth it. And then, what do you mean that's not worth it? It's just like you said, you know, the fact is I'm enjoying having conversations with people because I learn from other people. So I can get that benefit from this, whether I get 100 views or 10 million views.
10 views, it doesn't matter.
For me, I've already gained everything from this conversation with you, but I get happiness knowing that those 20 people that have viewed it gained something from hearing me and you talk.
How amazing. Exactly. You've hit the nail on the head, and you're already winning because you already know what true happiness is. It's not the car, it's not the money, it's not the best thing or the best thing to wear. It's literally doing what you love, being completely detached. Do you know how liberating that is? And it's a muscle. You know, you don't read about getting abs. You work out and you get abs. It's the same as your mental health. If you want to better your mental health, positive affirmations, you know, having gratitude, You know, I can already name 3 things you're already grateful for. You have a roof over your head, you have clean water and clean food, and you're probably going to eat that after you break your fast. Not many people have that. That already puts you in a better positive mindset. It's not cliche, it's a fact. Also, embracing your pain. Everyone has different type of pain. I embrace my pain by creating content. And if I never did that, me and you would have never met. So I use self-love over self-pity. If I continue doing self-pity, not one video would have came out. 130 videos after, I'm here. You know, and like I said, the power of now. I watched one of your previous, I watched your one of your previous. I think it was your first or second podcast with the fella, and he shared the Eckhart Tolle book, Power of Now. It's true, the power of now. I'll end on this. If you dwell too much on the past, you have depression. If you dwell too much on the future, then you feel anxious. If you realize both of them are merely just illusions, what is going on right now? I'm talking to Saif. Whatever happened to me in my childhood or what's going to happen in the future doesn't actually exist. It's the present moment. And once you're fully locked in the present moment, as you can see that I'm fully locked in the present moment, you have bliss. That's it. And that's how you should live your life every day. And then you're going to feel happy overall. Or as I say, more important, content.
Awesome. Guys, I hope you guys have learned something, because I've literally sat here for 20 minutes and I'm literally picking up on all these tips. One, because it's coming from someone that, you know, has journeyed similarly to myself with some certain kind of parts of their life, but also how he's dealt with it and the way Hamdan's actually dealt with, and his methods with dealing with mental health and depression has been something that I definitely have learned from. And just as he said, you know, I've already gained from that. So I hope some of you guys have listened to this, learned it, gained something from that, and make sure you check out his content as well. I'll link it into the description. Hamdan, thank you so much for giving me a bit of your time as well.
Saif, I really enjoyed this time today, and thank you so much for listening to my thoughts and giving me this opportunity as well.